Good morning, everyone. It's Gail with Traders Help Desk, and I just wanted to go over what I'm seeing on the S&P futures, the Nasdaq, and the Russell. The one interesting pattern that I'm seeing that I'm watching is actually on the weekly chart. You can see that price has returned to this area, and it's currently forming a bearish bar. Now that bar will not complete until Friday. We do have non-farm employment on Friday, so a lot could change. But with this overextended and a potential bearish bar coming in, I think it may push the S&P 500 down to 2790. Not this week. It would happen, probably next week. What I'm watching today, as you can see, price has retraced back to this ATR, and the stochastics is showing divergence. I think we're going to get a stronger pullback than that. Then on the 360, you can see that price is on the way back to this ATR. Now, we don't have divergence in here. We're making lower lows in price, and we're making lower lows in the stochastics. You could come all the way back to this one and say, well, according to this one, there is hidden divergence. I actually like to use the previous low to measure that divergence as long as price has gone lower than that, and it has in this case. Now, typical price pattern behavior is that price will come back and it will test either this blue moving average or it will test the ATR, one of the two. Since the ADX is not magenta, I would expect it to test the blue line, which is at 2941. So then if I go down in time to the 45, the 12, and the 3, you can see that price is coming back to test 29.24 or 29.26. Again, because you do not have a magenta peak here, I would think that it would come to the blue line at 29.26. Now, if that occurs and it comes back and tests 29.26.25 and forms a bullish bar, then we could say, okay, today's not the day that it might go down. Could be tomorrow after non-farm employment. It might need to retrace part of this move from yesterday at the Fed announcement. When we go down to the 12-minute, you can see that they're rejecting the moving average here at about 29.31. So that tells me that, hey, there is a potential for them to break through the 29.28 area. Okay, so I don't look at the 3-minute this time of the morning. I only look at the 12 in the 45. But is price setting up for a downward move? Potentially, yes. So now I want to go over and I want to look at the Nasdaq. And on the Nasdaq, we kind of see the same pattern happening. The only difference is you don't have that price pattern that was on your weekly chart on the S&P 500. Are you still getting a potential bearish bar? Yes. Are you testing this moving average? Yes. Is it coming down to the ATR at 76.84? Well, it has been very close to that already at 77.41. It would still have probably another 41 points to move down. Typical price behavior, again, is just like it happened here. It breaks through the ATR, goes back to test the ATR, and then it comes down. Now, in this case, I don't think it will go back to the ATR. I think it will just get to the blue line at 78.09. Then I would want that bearish bar to come in. That would signal to me that this is going to move down. So at the opening, I actually would anticipate this to go up, and then it would go down. Go and look at the Russell this morning. And in the Russell, you're pretty much seeing the same pattern that we saw on the S&P 500. You do have a potential bearish bar developing over here on the weekly. And when I break this down, you can see that we had a strong bearish bar yesterday from the FOMC. Now again, your ATR is at 1563. You're seeing this divergence here between this high and this high over here. So there's no divergence over here. But you see how it tested this blue moving average. It pulls back, then forms that bearish bar after the doji. This is sort of what I want to see happen on this one. Now this one, because we are magenta in the ADX, we could potentially pull back to 1590 to 1597.5. I think it's probably going to be more about 1594 to 1598 where this pulls back. So we might get that little spike up and then the spike back down. And that's often the case when the market opens. Generally, I'm not even going to try to trade this until about 10 o'clock so I don't get caught in that whipsaw at the opening. So I hope you find this useful. Subscribe to my videos to be notified whenever I post a video, and have a wonderful trading day.